What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy Myron McRae, aka Tornado McRae, across the skies of the internet, here with another episode of Panther Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. Hope y'all are having a fantastic Monday, unlike apparently one of my neighbors across the way or somebody here who crashed into a parked building. Don't be that person. Yes, first thing in the morning, I look across my apartment complex right outside, and somebody crashed their minivan into a brick building in a parking lot with nobody there. Don't know how that happened. But, guys, we're here with another episode of Panther Pride TV. Obviously, we're here for Panther updates. Y'all don't care about what's going on outside my apartment complex. So let's get into it. And the first thing that I had to talk about that, honestly, I'm questioning because I'm seeing a lot of differing information is, have these Panthers signed their rookie contracts? Now, before minicamp this weekend, Carolina announced that 6 of their draft picks have already signed their contracts. However, there were 2 notable names that hadn't signed, Nick Scorton and Trevor Etienne. And that was as of May 8th, May 9th. I have gone on the internet searching to make sure, and a couple sources like Yahoo Sports have noted that, yes, Nick Scorton and Trevor Etienne have signed. However, ESPN, NFL.com, and Panthers.com have not confirmed or said they've signed. So I'm confused as to what's going on here. And when I look at it, because this is from Panthers.com right now as I'm recording this video at 9:45 in the damn morning, you see right up there where it says signed rookie contracts, Ted McMillan, Prince Umanuelen, Lathan Ransom, Cam Jackson, Mitchell Evans, and Jimmy Horn Jr. It even has the undrafted rookies who have signed. However, I do not see Nick Scorton's name here, nor do I see Trevor Etienne's name. So that leads me to believe one or two things. Either A, this is true and they haven't signed, or B, the social media team has just not gotten around to updating the information, which, if that's the case, okay. I'm okay if it's just the social media team has not gotten around to updating the list. All right, fine. It happens. But if they have not signed their contracts, this isn't a good look, bro. This honestly is not a good look, especially for Scorton, for Nick, because of the simple fact that his former teammate in Shamar Stewart is doing a holdout in Cincinnati right now. It just does not look good on the player as a rookie coming in kind of holding out like that. Now, I will say there's a caveat. If they've reviewed the contract and if there's some legalities in there, or if there's some, prerequisites, or, I don't know the legal terminology off the top of my head. But if there are some legalities, some prerequisites, some, mind you, litigation that does not fall in his perimeter, does not suit him, or does not fit well, obviously don't sign a contract you don't feel comfortable with. Like, that's a life lesson for any of you youngins who are watching this video. If you're reading through a contract and there's something that you don't like, or there's something that you want to negotiate, there's something that just really seems off that you don't understand, obviously take your time before signing your life away. But if there's nothing like that, if there's no issues with the wording of the contract and it's just a money issue and you're just trying to be money hungry and be greedy, don't do that. Don't do that. Get your foot in the door. Prove why you're worth the money first. Then you get your big contract on the second payday. A lot of NFL pros will tell you that. So if it's just a money issue, if you're just trying to squeeze every dollar figure out, like, don't be that rookie. Please don't be that rookie. But if it is a genuine legal issue, legal wording, litigation, prerequisites that are being asked of you in the contract that you have issues with, that you're like, hold up, I can't do this, or hold up, I don't know how you expect me to execute that with where we're at right now, X, Y, and Z, obviously, do your due diligence and make sure you take your time on that contract. But if it is only money and you're only being money hungry and you're right there at the doorstep of making your dream come true and coming to the NFL, don't be that rookie. Please don't. It just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. But we're not gonna harp on that too much because I think everything will get solved and we'll move on from there. And the next thing I do want to address and bring up is the story about Kenny Dyson Jr. Now, some of you may have realized, and some of you are like, mate, if some of you could be like, hey, yo, who's Kenny Dyson Jr.? He was outside linebacker, edge rusher that the Carolina Panthers had. However, he was waived on Friday. And it wouldn't be that big of a deal because, honestly, Kenny hasn't had a huge impact yet. He only played 2 games last year and only was able to accumulate 2 tackles. But hasn't really been given the opportunity to shine and do his thing, so that's not on him. The reason why this is a topic of discussion is because of why Kenny got waived. Now, Kenny was waived in part due to the Jonathan Brooks PUP move. And here's what I mean. Initially, the NFL told Carolina that putting Jonathan Brooks on a physically unable to perform list would not count against their 90-man roster limit. However, the league then changed their mind and said that it would count against the 90-man roster limit for Carolina. So now Carolina had to cut one body, or they had to waive a body. And because they put in Brooks there, the body ended up being Kenny Dyson Jr. This move will go against Carolina up until late August when Brooks is able to be placed on IR. So Carolina is actually going to be with an 89-man roster instead of a full 90. Now, I'm sad that Kenny Dyson had to be caught up in the crossfires of this. I'm sad that the league kind of just backtracked and was like, yay, we're cool with that, or no, we're not. And the reason why it's going to count against the Panthers, and they're only going to have 89 men unless the NFL comes and makes an exemption, which, truth be told, I think they should, because it looks like they're backtracking on their word of saying, yes, we were cool with it, and then now we're not. But knowing the NFL, they're not going to sit there and say we're backtracking on our word. So it's an unfortunate move for Kenny. And hopefully once Carolina moves Brooks to IR, I really want Carolina to bring Kenny back, just because don't do the man dirty like that. He wasn't a bad kid. He wasn't a bad player. He wasn't a problem, and he hadn't even been given a chance to prove himself. So the fact that he got cut because of the NFL's interpretation of their own rules and what they said and now what they feel, I feel like that's kind of rude and kind of messed up. So really hope Kenny is able to come back, and I really hope that this doesn't bar him. I hope he's still allowed around the facility and to keep his spot once preseason and everything wraps up and Brooks is on IR and he can get that roster spot back. That's how I feel. And lastly, as of this morning, USA Today, our author of USA Today came up and predicted Carolina's future, or at least the upcoming record for this season. And I think y'all gonna like this. I thought it was an interesting read. So Tom Vieira of USA Today, this is what he had to say about Carolina for this upcoming season. He said the NFC South, excuse my words, guys. The NFC South may finally see a change after 4 seasons. The Buccaneers have positioned themselves as the team to beat in the division, while the Falcons are making a push to challenge their dominance. Meanwhile, the Panthers seem to be gaining momentum heading into the new season. Follows that up with Carolina has the 7th easiest schedule in 2025 per Sharp Football Analysis. If Carolina continues to develop its young core, the Panthers can make a push for a wild card. The team has failed to win more than 7 games in a season since 2017. The NFC South has been one of the weakest divisions in the league in recent years. The Panthers have an opportunity to shock the league. So with that being said, Tom Vieira's prediction for our record was 8-9. He has predicted Carolina will go 8-9. Now, I have said on this channel, I've said in multiple videos, that is the low end. I'm predicting for Carolina. I need that minimum, to be honest, this season. That's my standard. 10-7 is like superseding the standards. 9-8 is where I would like us to be. And 8-9 is the low end I will accept. So I actually like the fact that Tom did give Carolina the respect and said they will be an 8-win team at minimum. And because we've all seen a lot of analysts are still saying that Carolina's going to be a 5-win team, a 4-win team, a 6-win team, so on and so forth. So the fact that Mr. Vieira said Carolina will be an 8-win team, and he has acknowledged that Carolina has a chance to make a wild card run and a wild card push and shock the league, I respect it. I like it. Thank you for acknowledging what Carolina is being built here. But guys, that's all I have for today's episode. If you want, please leave a comment below and let me know how you feel about, well, one, do y'all know if Nick and Trevor have signed contracts? If so, please put please put the announcement in the comment section because I have not seen it officially. 2, how do y'all feel about Kenny Dyson getting waived now that you know the reason why he got waived? And 3, what do you feel about Tom Vieira's predictions? I know a lot of us have 9-win, 10-win, 11-win season aspirations, but is 8-9 a bad aspiration? I don't think so. I don't think that's a bad aspiration. But let me know that and more in the comment section below because at the end of the day, guys, y'all know the deal. What do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all you Panther Nation. Take care. Later days. And as always, keep pounding. I'll see you next time.